Welcome back. I'm Melinda Torres. Today we are going to discuss ESU Alcohol Policy, federal and state laws regarding alcohol, and the overall effects of alcohol, both short and long term. Even if you are over the age of 21, the sale, consumption, and possession of alcohol is prohibited on campus or any property or facility supervised by the university. It is also against ESU policy to possess or consume alcohol during any university-sponsored events and activities. If you violate this policy, you will face disciplinary action. The university expects students to behave in an appropriate manner and obey all laws on and off campus. Although ESU is not responsible for enforcing laws during off-campus events that are not sponsored by the university, they still may take disciplinary action against students who use alcohol in an irresponsible and illicit manner. Although the university prohibits the use or possession of alcohol on campus, the university maintains a medical amnesty policy, which serves to protect the health and safety of students. Any individual that seeks medical assistance for either themselves or anyone else for a medical problem relating to the consumption of alcohol or drugs will not be charged with any violation of the ESU Code of Conduct. In essence, if there is a medical emergency, you do not have to fear repercussions from the university as a result of seeking medical attention for yourself or anyone else. Although the ESU alcohol policy is relatively straightforward, federal and state laws regarding alcohol are significantly more complicated. In order to understand modern laws on alcohol, we have to look back in American history almost 100 years. National prohibition of the sale and consumption of alcohol began in the year 1920. This quickly led to an underground network of booze smuggling, speakeasies, and a slew of other problems more troubling than the issues prohibition sought to prevent. It's not surprising that just 13 years later, in 1933, the 21st Amendment of the Constitution was ratified, repealing national prohibition and giving states control over whether to allow the sale of alcohol in the state, whether to allow importation of alcohol from outside of the state, and how to distribute alcohol throughout the state. The 21st Amendment also allowed the states control over who can possess alcohol. Even though this amendment gives states control over most laws, the Federal Uniform Drinking Age Act of 1984 established a minimum legal drinking age of 21, which states must abide by in order to avoid receiving a 10% cut to federal funding for highways. All states abide by this standard. Although most state laws are similar with regards to the sale and possession of alcohol, there are differences. In fact, some states allow local governments to control alcohol policies. This is why, although the sale and possession of alcohol is not illegal in any state, some counties typically referred to as dry counties still exist. If you would like to learn more about modern prohibition, there's a link in this module to a news article with some more information. This is not a required part of the training program, however, it is available if you are interested. Although some states allow individuals under the age of 21 to drink alcohol if their parents provide it to them, Pennsylvania does not allow this. Did you know that the use of a false ID to obtain alcohol is a criminal offense and may lead to the suspension of your driver's license? It's also legal to manufacture, sell, or distribute fake ID cards. Even letting a friend borrow a fake ID card is illegal. Once college students turn 21, many believe they no longer have to worry about alcohol laws so long as they aren't driving. This isn't entirely true though, as there are other laws which still affect them. Sometimes referred to as a social host law. In Pennsylvania, if you allow an individual to knowingly take possession of alcohol, either in your residence or even your front or backyard, you can still face criminal charges. As such, it is important to make sure that you don't serve alcohol to anyone under the age of 21 at a party. The DUI legal limits in Pennsylvania are divided into 3 levels: general impairment, high BAC, and highest BAC. There are different penalties depending on which category and how many prior offenses you've committed. A link to the Department of Transportation website is included below, which contains all of the different penalties involved with DUIs. If you're under the age of 21, any detectable alcohol in the blood is evidence of a violation. Even if you're over the age of 21 and past the breathalyzer, if there's evidence that drinking alcohol prevented you from being able to drive safely, you can be convicted of a DUI. When we think of the effects of alcohol, we typically think of the long-term effects. Although we'll discuss those momentarily, first let's discuss the short-term effects. As peer educators, understanding the immediate effects of alcohol helps us to understand why people choose to drink. Oftentimes, students drink because they believe alcohol improves social interactions, leads to feelings of euphoria, and can cause a pleasurable release of tension. Other short-term effects of alcohol include slowed reaction times, lower inhibition, difficulty thinking clearly, poor decision-making skills, memory impairment, slurred speech, blurred vision, dizziness, difficulty walking, mood swings, temperamental behavior, and slowed heart rate and breathing. Long-term use of alcohol can lead to stomach bleeding and bleeding from the esophagus. It can also lead to swelling and damage of the pancreas, which produces substances your body needs to function efficiently. Liver damage is another common effect of alcohol usage, and when it becomes severe, often leads to death. Alcohol is also associated with cancer of the esophagus, liver, colon, head, neck, breasts, and other areas. Nerve damage can also result from the use of alcohol. This can cause a permanent feeling of numbness of limbs, erectile dysfunction, leaking urine, or difficulty urinating. Drinking alcohol during pregnancy can lead to severe birth defects or even a condition known as fetal alcohol syndrome. Hopefully these effects will help put the importance of responsible drinking into perspective. Now that you've had a chance to review all of this information, make sure to visit the links at the bottom of this page. After that, take the quick check quiz on alcohol policy and the effects in order to gain access to the next half of the alcohol module.